Okay, so floor plans. It hit me, especially when we're dealing with pre-1940 houses. People will say, what are the biggest changes you make on a house pre-1940? Well, those houses don't have dens. They don't have living rooms. And most often the kitchens are a servant area. And it occurred to me, gosh, you have all these changes that take place that are part of a style or part of a tradition, and how they change really tell us about how America changes, how America grows, and just kind of how we live. If you look at like a Georgian Federal Greek revival, that early American pre-industrial life, okay, you know, it's very symmetrical, right? So you walk in the front door, sometimes you'll have a vestibule that you'll have a parlor on the right or a living room on the left, bedroom, right? What's going on? There might be a center fireplace that all these fireplaces open up into each room. You're really reflecting, okay, a world and a life where staying warm was a big deal. And so houses kind of evolved this way. Think about those Georgian houses, the early ones with the center chimney, how efficient they were, okay? You oftentimes cooked on that stove, you slept in those rooms, all of the things that used to happen in a 800,000 square foot space that were beautiful, right? That they had these wonderful presence, this great scale, and very efficient, almost camping, maybe even glamping kind of thing, where you would have a paneled wall inside this room, a very nice room, but the way they lived in it was very efficient compared to how we live today. But the idea that we have today of having closets, of having hallways, of having dens, right, informal living areas, kitchens that open up, this open floor plan, really isn't anything until Frank Lloyd Wright starts doing it in the early 1900s. And really in the ranch period in the 1950s and after, that kind of floor plan and lifestyle really opens up. In that Georgian period, you didn't really entertain people in your house, right? You wouldn't have a party necessarily. That's what the church was, that's what the meeting hall was. A social life was very different. The house was a utilitarian, efficient means of survival, right? And you might have one room of the house where you might have the pastor over, you might entertain someone or have meetings and things, but it was outside, it was in meeting halls, it was at churches that you would have all-day meetings where you would socialize, where you do those things. So one of the other things that happens, and this happens in generational changes, that if you think like the Peyton Randolph house, you have an early stair, okay, that little sidewinder stair that goes up. And then as they had money, they added that grand, beautiful stair, more of a beauty project than a functional project, right? Where that one stair was kind of simple and functional. So all of these changes are happening that allow us to be a little bit more elaborate, that allow us to change and grow and show off and do more. You're looking at technological changes, okay? The way we heat our houses, the way we live in our houses, where the kitchens are. Kitchens were oftentimes in the basement in the Northeast. They were outside. They were a separate building in the South because one, heat, you didn't necessarily need to conserve heat in the house, but two, safety and everything else, that where you're having a fire all day, those buildings can tend to burn down. You want the kitchen to burn down. You don't want the house to burn down. So if you look at a building like Drayton Hall, you walk into that stair hall, okay? And beautiful stair hall that runs up to the top, the upper floor. You go into this grand living room, this grand family room. There's a little parlor on the left. There's another one right behind there and two rooms on the right. So you got this major plan, two rooms on the outside. You know, there is no kitchen in that house. One of the things that makes that house so interesting is that it was never changed. They never had it added HVAC or electrical or plumbing. There's no bathroom in that thing. So there's that early living and kind of how things were put together. One of the fun things about Drayton Hall is they have this outhouse which has like 5 seats where they can all sit, and the one seat has like armrests where like it's like a throne. I don't know how it worked, but it's kind of funny to check out and see how they did that. As we go into the Victorian period, right, as you see rising middle class, as you see more wealth in America, you begin to see houses change, and you begin to see elaboration of details. You begin to see kind of this front hall, back hall kind of thing, where you've got this grand stairway that goes up, but you also got a back servant stair where the servants were meant to work in the kitchen if it was a part of the house. Typically by the late 1800s it was. Bathrooms begin to appear, small closets. Realize we don't have ready-made clothes until like the early 1900s. And so most people either made their own clothes or had it made for them. So the idea of having a closet like we would have, a walk-in closet, would have been ludicrous to them.